Mr. Hunter.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, members, I'll be
Reverend
moving.
Hawkins, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield?
Not yet.
Not at this time.
Mr. Speaker, members, this is unnecessary. This is the law, and when my opening, I told you about the Voting Rights Act. Mr. Spiller asked about Petaway, which dealt with Section 2, so we did mention those. But it's unnecessary. Why don't we just, all of you, all 150, vote that this bill is correct, because that's the way it should be. That's basically what this amendment is. We're following the Voting Rights Act. We will follow the Voting Rights Act. I told you that the council that we relied on followed it, and I asked them to. It's unnecessary, and guess what? It's incorporated in this bill, so I'll be moving the table.
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
Reverend Hawkins.
Yes.
The gentleman yields for questions.
Thank you, Representative Hunter. You know, Representative Martinez-Fisher just made a great point about all the other election levels. And so my question is, specifically because during the committee hearing, you didn't have knowledge of certain things, and I'm assuming you've abreast yourself now. And so I'd like to really get clarity on those things. What was your understanding of the DOJ's letter regarding redistricting? Because at that point, you couldn't answer it, and as Representative Martinez-Fisher brought up other things, did you have a clear understanding, or what was your understanding of the DOJ's letter?
Well, my answer hasn't changed one bit. There was a DOJ letter. It's out there. DOJ will get to review this. I have no criticism. I have no feedback. They do what they want. We do what we want. Nothing any different.
Okay, so you've read it now. I know at the committee
I
hearing
didn't
you
read
had not read it.
I have not. I've just read parts of it.
Okay. It was a short letter, but anyway.
Well, it doesn't matter.
So in doing this redistricting at this time, what were your primary objectives? I just want to be clear, because a lot of these questions you didn't have answers for during the committee hearing, and I just want to be clear.
Let's you and I agree to disagree. I 100% disagree with you. You just didn't like my answers. Every time nobody likes my answer, they said you didn't answer. No, you're right. I don't agree with you. Now, number one,
Primary
there's
objective.
nothing wrong with doing redistricting. I've said that in committee, and I said that on the floor in the opening. We can do redistricting. You have had a discussion about a U.S. Supreme Court and a Fifth Circuit that has new impact on the law, which gives us justification further to look at redistricting. And we looked at redistricting, and we created 5 new congressional seats. 4 are Hispanic majority. So what was the objective? The objective was to take all of those factors, use political performance, and see if we could increase political performance in the state of Texas. My answer is now, and it was then.
Thank you, Representative Hunter. And I want to continue asking my questions. So the DOJ letter, did it trigger anything for you in terms of moving through this mid-decade redistricting?
Well,
I just want to be clear.
look, there was a DOJ letter. It was discussed in committee. I get lots of letters, been through lots of letters in these redistricting. To me, there's a letter.
So did you?
And the lawyers looked at it, took it all into account, and then we came up with this plan which said it met the thresholds, it met the requirements, it met the laws. So, yeah.
So if the failure to comply with the DOJ letter, did you think that there was going to be any legal challenges?
When you say the word redistricting, I think you know there's going to be legal challenges. And I think we all know that your groups filed suit recently, so I think you've already answered your question.
So my next question is, did you consider any alternative redistricting plans? I know as a committee member, there was no discussion what I would call a rich discussion around the redistricting plan, the maps, or anything like that. So did you consider anything else?
Absolutely. That's why we did the substitute Monday and increased more Republicans.
And so that's why you added 12 increases? Okay. Thank you for that answer, sir. Did you express any concerns about the potential for racial gerrymandering? You know, one of the things I want to be clear, I want to be perfectly clear, that as an African American here in the chamber, a chamber I want to continue to have respect for, we weren't asked any questions and or engaged in the process at all. Do you believe that's fair?
Are you talking about you, or are you talking about others?
I'm talking about the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, who potentially will lose 2 seats. Okay. I'm talking about an interest group that I thought had a role, an important role in this process.
You absolutely did, and Representative, you and I know each other, but you left 17 to 18 days. You left 17 to 18 days, you could have sat with me. You left 7 to 18 days leaving this state. My view, the public could have been involved, the whole caucus could have been involved, all 150 people could have been involved.
With all due respect,
I'm not finished.
Now let me get
You're
finished.
not letting me talk. You're the back mic, you ask the question, I get to talk. You and I disagree.
I disagree that the public had proper input.
Ma'am, you will not let me talk.
Members, please make sure you're not talking over one another so y'all can actually debate.
Now, since I'm not sure what this has to do with the amendment that we're talking about,
it has everything to do with the amendment.
It does not. But you want to continue. You and I disagree.
July 24th,
you'd still
no
never
maps. I'm sorry, Representative
Can
Hunter.
I finish my
answer?
answer?
Yes, you can. Please do that, sir.
So for 17 to 18 days, you left. Now you're getting on the microphone saying, why didn't I involve you? Well, I wasn't going across state lines to find you. I was here.
I was here before then.
Hold it. Let me finish. You want to be fair? Let me finish. You opened up the questions. You own the walkout. You said you did that. But don't come into this body and say we didn't include you. You left us for 18 days, and that's wrong. Now,
Members,
they applauded my opponent a while ago, so please give me equal treatment.
So, Representative Hunter, thank you for laying out that. But what you didn't lay out, and I hope you will let me finish responding or answering my question, on July 24th, there was a public hearing in Austin, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
On July 26th, there was a public hearing in Houston, correct?
That's Saturday, yes.
And on July 28th, there was a hearing in Arlington, Texas, correct?
That evening in Arlington.
Okay, when did the maps drop?
I believe the maps were filed Wednesday.
So Wednesday, and then you had a hearing the next day with people who could not weigh in on a yay or a nay. It's my understanding those maps were not released until after the public hearings. Is that true or false?
Well, you're wrong because the hearing was Friday, not Thursday.
We had several hearings before the maps were dropped. Would you agree with that?
Ma'am, you just said the map was dropped and then we heard it. The fact is, it was filed that Wednesday. The hearing was Friday. Let's get the specifics down. And I've answered everything to you in committee that I'm answering here. Tuesday, after the Arlington hearing, the chairman of the committee asked me if I would present the bill to this body, which I said yes. Number two, I did not see or get the information till that Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we filed the bill.
Representative Hunter, let's be clear. There were public hearings held without any maps. Is that true?
Yes.
Just before the bill vote out, those maps were dropped at that time, correct? Because it was voted out on that Saturday morning.
The bill was voted on Saturday.
Saturday morning. Just the other day, we had a hearing where you changed some additional districts.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Mr. Speaker,
Scarborough Perkins, for what purpose?
can I request extension of time?
Members, there's a motion for an extension of time. This is a record revote. This is the first one. Clerk, ring the bell. Show representative Hunter voting aye. Have all members voted? Troxler voting aye. Corwin voting aye. King voting aye. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? 134 ayes and 3 nays. The motion for extend time prevails.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Gervin Hawkins, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for
Yes.
questions?
He yields.
So we didn't have maps, but we had public hearings, so people they really wasn't able to see what was going on, correct? I just want to be clear.
There was no map at that time.
Okay. Now, did you look at any racial discrimination during these maps? In terms of the gerrymandering and the way y'all cut and packed and cracked and jacked and everything else?
To respond to you, every time somebody doesn't like redistricting, they use the word pack and crack. I use the word U.S. Supreme Court rucho. And that's where the problem is I have with your statement. I don't agree with you. Number two, we didn't have to have public hearings. You keep bringing that up. We didn't have to. The chairman of the committee decided, and we included information from those hearings in the filed map. So I appreciate that you keep saying that no map was there, but when the map was filed, we had that plus 12-hour hearing and we voted that Saturday. So you're correct on that.
Mr. Chairman, you know, you would say that the maps didn't, or no public hearings would have to be held. But question, would you believe it would be a great process to include the public in a way that they could see what's going on? Or do we want to do the things in the cloak of darkness here?
Well, you've been gone in the cloak of darkness for 18 days.
That's not germane to
No,
what we're
it
talking
is
about.
germane to
No,
what
it's
you
not.
said. I
No,
could
it's not.
have public input while you were gone. You prevented this
You were
body
gone.
from acting. See, you keep interrupting me.
The merits of
and
the
don't
bill,
want-
sir. Merits of the bill.
No.
Members, please try not to talk over one another so everybody can hear your debate.
We got close to 30 million people in the state of Texas. I'm talking to Representative here, please, sir. My other question is, do you believe the state of Texas is required to create and maintain minority opportunity districts?
I think the state of Texas should use every effort to follow the Voting Rights Act, RUCHO, Petaway, and all the laws. And the law firm told me that they had.
Tell me your position on creation of coalition districts.
Well, according to Petaway, which I believe was 2024, which has now changed the law, Fifth Circuit, says coalition districts can no longer be used as Voting Rights Act Section 2 violations. And it also says there's not a requirement that you have to use coalition. So what's happened since 2021, you have maps that people are in that were using old terminology, old law, and now you have a brand new set of law that came in, and as Mr. Spiller said, it overturned the compost case, which basically was the law being used. So today, this map is taking those in factor.
So you don't believe, or do you believe, that this redistricting plan eliminates any minority opportunity districts? Does this
No, I
plan do
think
that?
we've created 4 out of 5 new seats are Hispanic majority. I would say that's great. That doesn't ensure that a political party wins them, but the 4 out of 5 Hispanic majority out of those new districts, that's a pretty strong message. and it's good.
Representative, would you answer my question? Was there any
I thought I
minority?
did.
It's yes or no, right?
What is yes or no?
Did you
That I
eliminate
created?
any minority districts? Was any minority districts eliminated?
Did political performance change districts? Yes. Did they change? Did, for example, some in one area become Hispanic over African American?
Did you eliminate
Yes.
any minority districts?
I really don't understand your question. Did we
Okay, well, we'll
change
move
minority
on. We'll
districts?
move
Did we
on.
change districts in the state of Texas? Yes. And political performance was used.
All right. So, are you aware of any analysis conducted to assess the impact of the redistricting plan, voting power, and/or, is my understanding, some economic engines? Did you look at that at all?
Did Todd Hunter look at that? The law firm did. I've answered that. And I don't understand your economic engines. I've heard that. That I've seen in no criteria in redistricting. Political performance I have, but an economic engine. For example, in the committee hearing on Monday, they brought that up, and I thought if you have a great economic engine, I think Liberty County going into number 9 is a pretty darn good engine. But that's not a requirement under the redistricting.
Question for you, Representative Hunter. You know, inclusion we think is important, particularly when you're in a state so large as Texas and so diverse, and you want to be able to have all levels of input. Would you agree with that?
I think it's a great goal, yes.
So if that's the case, would you pull down this bill
No.
and look for additional public comment?
Nope, we've had the public comment. We've had 18 days of gap. I think we're ready to go.
But not on this map. We haven't
Yes,
had
we
public
are.
comment.
Oh, yes, we've had public comment. You can take the public comment from the first session. We've already said that. That was incorporated in this bill.
So we revised the maps yesterday. So the public has not had a chance to.
But no, it was on Monday.
All right, Monday, whatever day you say. But public haven't had a chance to look at it.
What I think everybody in the world that knows how to use District Viewer, social media, gets on the computers, I can see the map.
Are you aware?
And there's a
Representative-
lot of material in this map that was included in the prior map. So no, I don't.
You
I
said a
don't
lot,
think
but not all, correct?
No, there's changes. I absolutely told you that. We affected 12 new districts to increase political performance. Absolutely.
So are you aware in districts 9 and 33 are no longer African American voter dominated districts in the new map?
Congressional District 9 is going to be Hispanic 50.15% and African American 11.33%. What was the other one?
33.
Hispanic in Congressional District 33 is 38.35, and by the way, the black is from 19.45.
So that these maps do eliminate 2 African American leaning districts.
I'm not sure that they eliminate, because I think anybody can win any election. But did those demographics I just read change? The answer is yes.
So there is your racism right there, correct?
I disagree.
Okay.
And, you know, look, race is a discussion factor, and so is political performance. And all of this can be used. But let's not use it in a negative. I respect you, and I hope you respect me, but we may disagree. But all these factors are looked at. The problem is we've had new court cases that provide new elements to the redrawing and redistricting, and that's what we're following.
Representative Hunter, I do respect you tremendously, and I respect this body. But what I don't respect is an obvious racist move on what we're trying, what you're attempting to do. But
We disagree 100%.
when you lose 2 African American leaning seats, then that tells you there is a race issue going on.
And Rucho gave the exact same argument
Rucho,
about
Hucho
what I
would
wouldn't make
eliminate 2
fun
African
of
American
the
seats.
U.S. Supreme Court representative. I don't think that's right. Let's not demean the process. You know, I'm listening to your comments, and I haven't shot at you. But is race a factor? Yes. But I'm not going to use it in a negative in our discussion.
My final question, sir. Are you aware of any concerns raised by community groups or individuals regarding the potential impact of the new map on minority representation in these districts? Have you heard from the public at all in those districts?
Have I heard from everybody in all the districts, your question? No.
Any community groups, anybody?
Yes. Yes, I've heard from folks.
Time has expired.
Thank you, Representative Hunter, for answering my questions.
Move to table.
Mr. Martinez Fisher to close.